Okay, recording is a go, and can I get a level on the Discord for everybody, please? I'm glad I asked because it's not working. How about now?
Check,
One
check.
time at Bandcamp.
keys, 1, 2, 3.
We're here.
It's working now. Yep, good to go.
Awesome.
I keep forgetting you guys can't see me, so I just did a thumbs up to the camera that you can't see. Awesome.
Good job.
I will fix that for next time. Going forward, I will be in the Discord on cam so you can see facial expressions and things like that. So beyond just the stream, I'll have that all fixed for the next time we do this, which will, if everything goes well and you guys don't TPK today, and if we are able to wrap things up in a satisfactory manner, which I think we should, it will be 2 weeks from today, January 3rd, which will be our first session outside of the Myrmidra arc and into whatever the next arc ends up being. That'll be your decision. Be thinking about that, what you're going to be wanting to do, because at the end of this session, I'll be looking for your formal, well, informal, not formal, but your informal plan of what happens next. Whoever's
Dress
left.
up my planet at Tux. Got it.
Yeah. All right. When we last left our intrepid group of adventurers, the party had finally come face to face with Irae Dalharan, half of the dyad that was perhaps the White Banshee, the villain or the antagonist at the very least that has plagued the party since coming down to the Underdark in search of Thoros'l's daughter, Sophia. Irae was revealed to, in fact, be Sophia, raised through a magical ritual perfected by Solemn Nedrazak of Sith Morcaine nearly 100 years ago, and has been living in and around the environs of the city of Myrmidra ever since. It was revealed that she had come in contact with an artifact similar to the one that Eldrick has carried for the last several weeks, and that upon coming in contact with that, upon touching it, it cursed her and banished her body and soul to the ethereal plane. All of the machinations that have happened for the last several, well, at least for as long as the party has been aware of the city of Myrmidra, and all of the tumult and chaos that have happened, the war with Kurgoth, Hellspawn, lost the name for a second, the rise of the undead, and so on and so forth, all of the things that have happened since the party came to Myrmidra, and the current state of ruin that the city finds itself in, are all geared toward Irae attempting to perform a ritual called the Ritual of Transference in order to free herself from the ethereal plane. That ritual has taken effect, and to some degree was successful. However, it was revealed that Makaria was involved and disrupted the ritual in some way and stole a good portion of the power that Irae had intended to use to merge the two planes together for herself, and stored it within an arcane construct that exists on her own person. All these revelations coming to light, conversations happening, there was a great deal of discussion around the artifact itself, and it was suggested to Irae that if she were just to hand over the artifact that she had found to Eldrick, Eldrick had some special mastery over the artifact and those like it, and would be able to effectively set her free himself. She originally balked, but after some discussion with her father, Thoros'l, and the other members of the party, she eventually relented and gave up the artifact, which Eldrick now has in his possession. True to his word, the first thing Eldrick did upon taking possession of the artifact was remove the soul anchor that had bound Irae / Sophia to the ethereal plane. before too much celebration could happen, unfortunately, Irae's erstwhile patron, or temporary patron, I suppose, the Draugg goddess Kiaransalee, intervened, and the party discovered that it was through a pact or a bond with Kiaransalee that Irae had been able to accomplish the things that she had set out to do, and it was part of a bargain that she had set with the goddess that she had then immediately reneged on, using Makaria to essentially steal the energy that had been earmarked for Kiaransalee and her great revenants, to perform the planar merger that she had intended all along. Kiaransalee, being a goddess of vengeance, did not take kindly to the betrayal, and has set out to get her revenge, her bloody, horrible revenge upon both Irae and Makaria. And the party finds themselves locked in mortal combat with Kiaransalee, or agents of Kiaransalee. As the battle began, Thoros'l, having struck his own bargain of a sorts with Kiaransalee, was possessed, and the Drow goddess used him as her instrument to attempt to end Irae's life. Thoros'l was able to fight back to some degree and severed half of his left hand, including the ring finger that held the ring that symbolized his pact with Kiaransalee. And he was able to return to his own, return control of his body, or regain control of his body. At the same time, a mysterious figure appeared in the entryway to the cavern and fired a single arrow, which bounced around the cavern for a bit before it struck Thoros'l in the chest. At the same time as this was going on, Eldrick, after having multiple brushes with death, was able to regain his feet to some degree, thanks largely in part to Alanere, and has attempted to activate his new artifact to potentially remove the party from these environs and the lair that they find themselves in, as a sort of an evacuation. He's instructed the party to join him and has attempted to enact a portal circle similar to the ones that the party has seen Irae use multiple times in their encounters with her. But as he does so, he notices that Thanas'l, the son of Irae and the grandson of Thoros'l, who's been incapacitated through this whole time since the battle with Kurgoth, or the final moments of the battle with Kurgoth, has awakened and is gushing black fluid from his eyes, and his mouth is moving, and he's chanting or reciting some litany that Eldrick has just now noticed. We'll pick up there. We're beginning round 4 of the battle. I do need to take one step back and return to Eldrick, who was the last actor in turn 3. Eldrick, I missed a step whenever you attempted to enact the portal circle. I need you to make a persuasion check in order to attempt to activate the shard to use that ability. So can you start with that?
You're muted.
You are very muted.
Of course I'm muted. Why? That's a DC 17, right?
It's a DC 17, that's correct.
Yeah, because it's my home plane. At some point, I'll actually do the thing I said I was going to do and put my stuff into Roll20. Sorry.
It's all right. As long as you have it in there before the stream starts.
Stream, yes, absolutely.
Just use the same persuasion skill that you use to convince people you're a paladin and not some evil deity.
As you can see, I did. So I make my save and I hold the stone aloft and make the portal happen.
As he does so, there's a flicker of greenish and gold energy that leaps into existence from within the black lump of stone, and an instant later, a shimmering sphere of what appears to be green and gold lightning extends from and around Eldrick out to a radius of 20 feet. And I don't know if you can still.
Oh, we can see it.
You can see it? That's interesting because.
I can see it.
There it goes. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah, just popped up. Sweet.
It looks like it swallowed up the other portal.
Yeah, you might want to move it to back.
I'm going to do that. It's a good call.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, now it's
yeah.
behind
that
you.
didn't work.
Move
Yeah.
the guy.
We're going to have to do.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Right there. We can see both portals
That
and the
worked.
people.
I don't
Yep,
know
that's-
why that worked, but it worked. It'll do.
You
I'm
got
proud
a
of you.
portal
Good
on a
job.
portal? Is that good? Is that gonna work? Or are you like folding universes now? Is that a
Oh shit! Do we have
bag of holding? Bag of holding?
a pocket dimension there?
Well, I suppose we'll see. That will end. Will officially end round 3, and we will go to the beginning of round 4 with the lair action.
I would like to say that I'm pretty sure Eldrick has been last in every fight that he's actually participated in since we came back to this game.
Dexterity's not a dump stat, my friend.
My
It is for a paladin.
man. I had 12 dexterity. It's pretty solid, bro.
It makes you feel any better. You were right before me on the battle at the arena
Yep.
because I crit failed.
Yeah.
Also,
It takes
Also,
somebody
I-
rolling a 1 to be less than you.
oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh, he's
you
got the
need
stone.
con to survive being a
found-
hate tank.
I found it.
Yes, the Greku stone. I love it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to require now that you, anytime you do any actions with the stone or either of the 2 stones that you carry, that you have that in hand because
I got it.
that's too cool.
It's gonna sit right here, right next to my PC the whole time.
That is awesome. So I believe, Eldrick, that as part of your attempt to open the portal, you had some words for your companions. Right.
Yes. To
Run
me.
away! Run away! Oh,
Get to me was basically what I said.
All right, so your perception changes to some degree, Eldrick. You're still able to see everything that's going on in this cavern because you are physically present here.
Mhm.
There is a part of you that now, as the portal gateway opens up, you now also exist at the target location. So
Mhm.
overlaid in sort of a ghostly fashion over this confluence of the material and the ethereal plane that you're currently in within Irae's lair here,
Mhm.
you also can perceive a clearing, a somewhat familiar clearing. It's been some days since you were there, but a clearing on a hill within the forest of Cormanthier, specifically within the village of Mapelyn. And it's
Mhm.
the hill that is beneath the Tree of Legacies, where the dead of Mapelyn have been buried or were buried for generations prior to that village becoming abandoned.
Yep.
You can perceive a number of kind of makeshift, or maybe not so much makeshift, but weather-worn headstones that are scattered around the hill. You can see the tree itself, sort of in ghostly fashion, but both the cavern in Myrmidra and the tree, the hill with the Tree of Legacies in Mapelyn are equally visible and perceivable for you at this moment,
Gotcha.
as though part of your consciousness is in both places.
does that mean he can provoke attacks of opportunity on 2 different planes at the same time?
Well, not technically, at least not at this moment. But yeah, I suppose it could be possible. That being said,
Oh boy.
the last thing that you notice is, as I said before, as you're calling out to your companions, to me, friends, you look down at the previously insensate form of Thanas'l to see him gazing up at you, or at least eyes open and gazing upward. You don't know if he can see you because his eyes have gone from red to black and glossy, and there is black fluid that is just leaking from them, like tears that are just,
Mhm.
and his lips are moving and soundlessly, but he appears to have some elation, some elated look on his face. So
His hands are bound
his
still, but
hands are in fact bound. That is correct. And
hopefully they're still bound.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's undone that. So yeah.
He is no longer in cap, though, so I've removed that. And then we will go to, but as I've said now 4 times, we're going into round 4. We start with a lair action, so we will roll. I will
Skip
roll.
that if you want.
We could, but I don't want. I very much want for this lair action to happen. So first things
I
first,
can do without it. I'm just saying.
I'm going to roll a d20 to see what lair action. A 10. Okay. And then we have 5 of these portals that are still remaining. So I'll roll a d6, and the 6 will be a reroll twice. So, oh, good. So now it'll be 2 portals. And I'll roll again. If 6s happen, then we'll just continue rolling until. Okay, so 2 and 4. So this one being number 2, and this one being number 4. Both of these both of these portals form these misty tentacle-like tendrils from the blackened mist that is just pouring into the cavern out of these portals, and they animate and attempt to reach out and lash out at a nearby creature. Number 2 will lash out. We'll say roll a d3. I'll roll a d6, and 1-2 is Thoros'l, 3-4 is Irae, 5-6 is Alanere. 1, so that'll be Thoros'l. Thoros'l,
Bring it.
it lashes out at you, and you take 4d8 points of necrotic damage. There's 20 points of necrotic damage, and you would be dragged further further close to the portal, but you're already adjacent to it. So you will take an additional, some additional damage whenever it pulses. The closest character to the number 4 portal is Sprout. Sprout, you are also
Hopefully
lash
far
out.
enough away.
Unfortunately, no. It lashes out at you as well, and is going to deal 14 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Gosh.
That's going to be good enough. So you are able to. It attempts to drag you in closer to the portal the way that it did to Thoros'l, or would have done to Thoros'l. But you are able to hold firm, stand your ground, and the tendril dissipates. The portal then will pulse, or the portals rather then will pulse. Fortunately, Makaria, are you still in your bubble, or are you in? Are you clear of that?
I am clear of that.
You are no longer Bubble Boy.
Oh, so but you're no longer next to a portal because Sprout closed that one. So never mind.
You're welcome.
Correct.
Okay, so then Alanere and Irae and Thoros'l, because you were within range of portal number 2, as it pulses, you are going to take some additional damage. That's going to be 4d6 necrotic damage. So that'll be 13 necrotic damage. You can make a Constitution save to half that.
Balls.
Irae, Thoros'l misses his, so you take the full 13.
Okay.
Irae misses hers. Alanere misses his, so everybody takes 13 points of necrotic damage.
Stop dying, and that's an order.
And that will
Nice.
end the lair action, which will take us then to Sprout. Sprout, you're number 1 on the list.
I have a question
Okay.
about specifics. If I have an ability that gives me 30 increase to my speed, does it give me 60 movement total space?
You have an ability that gives you 30 additional feet
It says it increases your speed by 30.
by 30 or to 30.
By 30.
Then yes, it would give you total of 60. That would be correct.
Okay. Then here is what I am going to do. I am going to cast on myself as a bonus action Zephyr Strike.
Got it.
Do you want me to read that?
Nope. I'm familiar with Zephyr Strike, so we're good to go.
All right. And then I am going to move here. And I am going to attack this portal utilizing Rift Razor. Do I need to declare that Zephyr Strike is going to be used on which attack before, or can I do it after an attack?
Advantage to 1 attack roll. So it's you just decide if you want to roll advantage, then that's the one that you get the Zephyr Strike on. So you just declare which of your attacks uses the Zephyr Strike.
We will declare it on the first one, which gives me a advantage and an extra D8 of force damage.
Right.
Which means if I attack with Rift Razor by that one, that's a 27 to hit.
Yep. Go ahead
with
and
12 damage, and then
go ahead and roll it again. We'll take the damage roll from the first one.
okay.
Just making sure the 27 is more than enough to hit, but I wanted to make sure that you had you had an opportunity to crit if you were going to, since you had an advantage.
And then I'm going to roll the D8 for additional damage.
Nice.
So that should be on the first strike 19.
19. Okay, so you slash through the portal, and the portal shifts and wavers, but it does not collapse.
Okay. I am going to attack a second time.
Okay.
It's a 25 to hit with 12 damage.
Then the portal collapses.
Okay, and I think that I am far enough. I'm too far away to be able to use distance strike, because it has to be 10, and I think I'm 15 feet away from that other portal to the left.
That's correct.
This one.
Yeah, you can't reach it, but you still do have. I see what you're saying. You still have movement where you could get over there to it, but using distance strike requires you to use your teleport. And
correct.
Right.
So I can't utilize that. However, I can still move.
Correct.
Yeah, get over there.
So I am going to make sure here. Yeah, I am going to move. Move here. And that will conclude my turn.
Very cool. All right. That will
Hopefully those 3 will stop dying.
that will bring us to Makaria with Thoros'l on deck. What you got, Makaria?
So as Sprout rushes in, Makaria had just put her hands up in a V, and as he just plows in, she curses at him in Infernal, and then takes and will take a 2-step this way and cast a level 2 burning hands, so the cone will hit that guy and the
Why are
pyramid.
you attacking my grandson? Makaria. Oh.
Okay, so you're intentionally trying to hit Thanas'l and the portal.
Correct.
Got it.
And I was at a perfect angle where I wouldn't have had to move.
But Sprout
Sprout.
screwed it up for you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
Welcome.
what is the damage? What's the damage on, or what's the specifics for burning hands? Is there a save?
Dexterity save 18.
Okay. So I'm going to give Thanas'l disadvantage on his save because he is on the ground. He's prone. Even though he's no longer incapacitated, he's still prone and he is bound. So that's definitely going to be disadvantage. Wow, it's very loud. I don't know what that was, but it was super loud in my ears. Okay, so his dex. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. What was the DC?
18.
He fails, so he takes the full brunt of your burning hands, which is
3d6.
3d6
It'll be 46 altogether.
because you're upcasting at a level. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
So altogether, with my +1 from my wand, will be 15 fire damage.
Okay, 15 points of damage to Thanas'l. And 15 points of damage to the portal. So as your flames, are you casting that from your own spells or from your pool?
Nope, from my own spells. So she whips out her wand and I guess since it's burning hands, she just pulls out her hands in the classic formation and unleashes a cone of fire before jumping backwards behind Sprout again.
Okay, sweet. Then you unleash a cone of flame that washes over both Thanas'l and the portal. The portal flickers a bit. It doesn't seem to be as damaged by your flame. Thanas'l doesn't react at all. He is smoking from, and you can see that his skin is starting to blister in places from the flames. But other than that, he doesn't seem to have even noticed that you just burned him. Irae, on the other hand, shrieks, and in a string of decidedly unladylike curses in Elvish, is staring. Whips out her wand and is staring daggers at Makaria. There are a few words. If any of you, does anybody understand Elvish besides Thoros'l?
I
Yeah.
believe I do.
Alanere.
Alanere and Sprout.
Eldrick speaks Elvish.
Okay, the dialect is a little difficult for you to get, because it's not specifically Elvish. It's an offshoot of Elvish. You don't recognize all the curse words, but you do hear very specifically, "Get the hell away from my son, bitch." And she pulls her wand, but it's not her turn, so that will be the end. Makaria, do you have anything additional?
Nope, that was it.
That will take us then to Thoros'l. Alanere, you are on deck.
Thoros'l will kick up the Wolfswift sword and sheath it, and sheath his other sword as well, and pull his bow, knock an arrow, and point it at Makaria. Stand down from my grandson. Eldrick will handle it, I'm sure. And then I'll turn to Irae and use my bonus action to enchant the arrow and then fire it into her chest.
Okay. So optics on this, as you guys are watching this, Thoros'l knocks an arrow, points it at Makaria, and says, "Stand down." And then he turns around and lets it fly directly into his daughter's chest. She staggers, her eyes go wide as she realizes what's happening. Just an instant too late. and Thoros'l fires the arrow, and there's no chance that he misses her. He's point blank. The arrow thuds dully into her chest, and she rocks back against the cavern wall, her eyes wide. She looks up at her father, and then you start to notice all of the wounds that she had, the sword strikes from Thoros'l, the kind of blackened vein of corruption that have been running through her since she's been damaged by this necrotic energy coming from the portals, vanish. Wounds close. Her pallor gets decidedly better. Some of the lines on her face from exhaustion fade. She kind of puts a hand back on the cavern wall. She looks up, and shock is replaced by surprise, and then just confusion. And the arrow in her chest melts away. Anything additional?
Well, let's see. I've got 2 attacks, but I don't know if I really just need to fire an arrow at that creature down there or not. So I don't really care about that too much. So I will take a step back, and then say to her and Alanere, who happens to be there too, we should go. Something's wrong with Thanas'l, but we need to get out of here. Eldrick's opened a portal. At least I hope that's who opened that portal.
Okay.
But I'm not going to move any further towards it. Where I'm at is where I'd like to be for now.
All right. Weirdly, I have Alanere for whatever reason. Alanere, you're a 10, and you're showing up in front of the 12s. So I'm going to. I know I said you were on deck, but I'm going to move you behind the 12s to put you in your rightful
Yeah,
spot.
you're right. That doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, something I rearranged.
Math is hard.
Maybe. It was correct last week. I don't know what the deal is, but maybe I accidentally clicked and dragged something as I was moving through. That will bring us then.
Maybe Mr. Alakar is pretty handy with computers. Maybe hacked into the system and advanced himself.
That being said, it is instead Irae who is on deck, and she will keep pace. Like her wand, like, had her wand out and was looking at Makaria, but then she took the arrow to the chest, and that kind of shocked her out of whatever intent that she might have had. So she's going to step up, rush over to her son, and still glancing over with seething eyes at the tiefling, she will bend down to see what is going on with her son. And that will end her turn, which will take us then.
Can she do that a little farther away from the portal, maybe?
That's not a bad idea. She's got enough movement. She could do that. She'll get away from the portal.
There we go. Can't have him up and get killed again.
Actually, she will put herself. She'll go to the other side to put herself between Makaria and Thanas'l.
Oh, woof.
And
that's right.
that will end her turn. That will take us to the Spectre. Spectres. Let me see here.
Come and get it.
I only see one Spectre.
There is only
that's right.
one remaining Spectre. Okay, closest enemy.
Who is it after?
Closest enemy is Makaria, so it's going to surge up to attack Makaria.
Ruh-roh.
Sweet. Dodged a purple bullet.
So we'll surge up in this direction toward Makaria, and it will attack her.
Disadvantage.
Yes, first
That
attack.
cloak.
First attack is a disadvantage thanks to the cloak of displacement. So first attack will be. Whoop, I keep doing that wrong. So that's at a 12 on the roll. That's going to be a 16 to hit.
Reaction, I'll use shield.
Okay. So you conjure up a barrier,
So that'll be
an arcane barrier, as the creature gets inside you have your attention fully on Irae and Thanas'l. You turn to find this disembodied spirit comprised of what appears to be black mist surging at you. You flick your wand in its direction and essentially flick it off with the with a arcane barrier of force, and you spoil its attack. But it is where it is. That will take us now to Alanere. Alanere, you're up.
All right. Taking a look at the Thanas'l.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two options of do I think he's under some charm effect or curse effect from it, whether it's a spell or an item. Is there any way to actually be able to distinguish that?
You can make me an Arcana check, I guess, and see what you can find.
All right.
Are you doing this from across the room, or are you going to get closer to him, or what are you going to do?
Yes, I'm definitely headed over that way, at least to the heading over this way anyways.
All right. I'll remind you.
So yeah, I'm gonna kind of
remind you that you are within range of this portal.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't think I really have enough to get away.
Understood. All right, then. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Dude. Great at it, so only a 10.
So you don't notice any items necessarily that are on him that would scream cursed.
No ring like Thoros'l had.
Well, he definitely his hands are bedecked in rings. He has multiple silver rings on his hands. He's got a medallion around his neck that is the same kind of black hand with silver rings that you've seen multiple times throughout this adventure. It's clearly a holy symbol of some kind. His armor, has the same kind of skull and bone motif that Eldrick's has, except it's white and it's leather instead of metal plate. But he doesn't appear to have, like, his hands are bound in front of him. He's still laying on his back. You will notice, I guess, that the mists in this chamber are clinging around him, more so than you think is more so than everybody else. But with a 10, you don't get much more than that.
Yeah. So, oh geez. Well, charm effect or curse. Which one do I think it is? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go with curse.
All right.
I am going to bust out and use one of my prayer beads. Prayer bead of favor.
Okay.
Allows me to use greater restoration.
Okay.
Is that to try and a curse effect on him?
Got it. So you're going to attempt, with your bead, you're going to attempt to cast greater restoration on Thanas'l.
Yes.
Okay, so you bend down next to him and you pull out your beads and you enact the innate power of that particular item, and you reach out and you touch Thanas'l, and his head snaps toward you, and he shouts something in your face, and it is in that same Drow dialect, but you've heard the words used multiple times in common since the beginning of this encounter, and those words are escaping me for the moment. So I'm gonna look at my note.
Wubba dubba dub dub.
Wubba lubba dub dub. That's the words. Every slight will be answered 1,000-fold. He just shouts it like at the top of his lungs. It's like he's laying until you approach. He's laying on his back. His lips are moving silently. You see that he's saying something, but you can't make it out because it's completely soundlessly. you put your hand on him. He turns and he actually leans forward to spit his diatribe directly in your face. His eyes are wide and livid, gushing this black fluid, and he shrieks it in your face. Every slight answered 1,000-fold! Sorry, that's probably loud. And he breaks free of the binds. And you notice, Alanere, you will notice this simply because you were looking at his body for things like this. As he reaches up, he lurches up forward and breaks the bonds. A wicked, ornate, black, curved dagger appears in his hands. And he is going to lunge directly for you. As a legendary action.
What? Fuck it. Yeah.
And that
I don't want to know what's on that, but you know what? I gotta go through with what I was doing anyways. Even if I get pigged for it.
Alright, so with a legendary action, he makes one attack. That will be a 16 to hit.
I'm not denied dex or anything, am I?
You're not denied anything. It's just your pure armor class.
Then I have a 17.
Okay, so he misses you. He attempts to lunge at you with the dagger, and you see it because you saw it coming. You saw it appear in his hands. You are able to dodge back out of the way, and this ornate black dagger that very clearly is dripping with some kind of black fluid. It's very similar to the fluid that seems to be leaking from his eyes and his face. Just barely misses creasing your face as he lunges out with it. And that will end... Will that end your turn? Or do you have anything further to do on your turn?
No, I'm assuming that Greater Restoration had no effect on... Or because he...
It doesn't appear to have any... to have had any effect. You felt the spell happen. You felt the spell actually take effect, but it doesn't appear to have had any impact on Thanas'l.
Okay. And I think I saw somebody draw a line, and I actually think I do have enough move to get up here.
All right.
Well, the 30 feet. So that's what I was planning on doing.
So as he lunges for you, you scrabble out of the way and try to get around away from the portal and away from him to some degree, or get in a better position.
Yeah.
And that will take us to Eldrick.
Yeah, he seems to be having some bad magic juju going on, so that's not cool. I assume holding this portal is a concentration effect.
As long as you're able to maintain concentration, you can hold it open. That's correct. It doesn't require any rolls unless something would threaten to break your concentration.
Sure. Do I have to stay in the middle?
You don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to move here.
Okay. It moves with you.
Okay.
Well, shit. Okay.
So that was...
And then I'm going to make a melee attack against the Thanas'l with the shard of planar omnipresence.
Okay.
And I'm blanking, so I get, is that advantage or a +2 here?
Because you're flanking, yeah, that is advantage.
Gotcha.
Which you would have anyway, because it's a melee attack against a prone opponent.
Oh, I forgot he was still laying down. All right, excellent. So, do I get my proficiency bonus with the stone?
You do not. You're not proficient with a shard.
All right, so 4. This is a +4 to hit him with it, but it's an advantage. Yep. So
there's a natural 20.
Got him.
I will strike him with the stone. I'm not really trying to like club him with it. I'm just trying to touch him with it.
You easily touch him with it with a natural 20. And we'll say that because you're not trying to club him with it, if your goal is just to touch him with it, that's exactly what you do. You press it against the skin of his forehead or whatever other portion of his body that you're looking to do. And
No, that's exactly it, right between the eyes.
all right.
And I will soul anchor him, binding him to the prime material plane.
Okay. So as you reach out and touch him with the stone, a couple things happen. First,
I'm sure not are good.
as she notices what is happening, Irae screams, and that is so the lots of things happening. Thanas'l's voice from his shout still echoing in the cavern. Irae's scream is added to it. There is a loud crackling sound as the stone touches Thanas'l's forehead and bursts into a greenish sort of lightning. And he staggers, well, flops backwards, as though like physically punched in the face. You didn't punch him in the face with it, but he staggers backward as though you did. And as he lands on the ground, head lolling, eyes wide, you can see the lightning is currently tracing its way across and down his face, a green string of runes.
Do his eyes change color?
They do not.
All right. Well, that is my action that I'm going to take because I'm not going to club him with the thing again. I am going to move back here, however, because I don't. And I'll yell to Irae before ending my turn. I'll yell to Irae, we need to sever his connection with the thing possessing him. He is bound where this portal is going.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Make me a persuasion check.
That might be rough. I'm not very good at that. 23.
23. All right. So at the sound of your voice, Irae's eyes lock onto you, and you can see the rage and grief and fear and just a jumble of emotions. And you see that she has her wand clutched at her side, and she's raising it. And at your voice, she kind of recoils back and glances down at Thanas'l and sees, well, number one, he's still here. Number two, she seems to hear your voice, and it appears to have a calming effect on her. And she doesn't make any further motion to attempt to, well, doesn't make any further hostile motions toward you. Is that going to end your turn?
Yeah. I was trying to think how I could get the maximum trauma response from a character in this scene, so that seems to have done it.
Yeah,
she only
just
said, how long trapped because of this friggin' thing, and I smacked her son with it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for my turn. Yeah, unless I can do something which I don't think I can do, which is the answer is no. Yep, I'm good.
She was not only that, but she was deliberately not touching him with it. Like she was scared of this happening.
Oh yeah. Point of order, I would like to remind everybody, being that it's been so long, if you're 10 feet within 10 feet of me, you have +5 to save. You can't be charmed, and you can't be frightened.
Oh, good
FYI.
to know. Good to know. That is that's good information. Thank you for reminding me. And that extends to anyone that you consider an ally, correct?
Anyone that I consider an ally, and I really want to consider Thanas'l an ally right now, but I don't know that that's a great idea at the moment. So everybody except for him and the shadow thing.
Got it. Okay. So one more time, your turn is over. Yes.
Yep, my turn is over. Yep, that's it. Sorry.
Great.
That was long-winded. Apologies.
No, it's good. All good. I just want to make sure, because Thanas'l is now going to use his second legendary action
Yeah, I figured.
And that is going to be his touch of death action, and he's going to levy it towards you.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
So
Oh,
he, still on the ground, head lolling, his eyes snap back into focus. He grins and begins to laugh. And the laugh almost sounds like keening. Like it is wild, it is high pitched. It doesn't sound like his voice at all. Not that you necessarily have heard his voice, but it doesn't sound like it should be coming from his throat. And as he begins to laugh and wail and keen, he reaches out and grabs you around the calf. And I need you to make a a Constitution saving throw.
does he auto hit with that?
Oh
Or
no,
does he have to make an attack?
no, that is an attack roll. Thank you. I missed that it was a melee spell attack. So he is making a spell attack against you. Your armor class currently?
My armor class is 17. Is he classified currently as an aberration, celestial, elemental, or fey, fiend, or undead?
Yes.
Then he has disadvantage on his attack because I have purity of spirit on all the time.
Okay, great. So we'll use the 4. That is at a plus 13 to hit, so that is exactly 17. So he does manage to hit you.
Nice.
So you are going to get the damage, which is 3d8, and this is necrotic. So if you have any resistance or anything to necrotic, apply it. 16 points of necrotic damage.
I do not. That puts me minus 16. All right.
And then now make me the Constitution saving throw. DC on this is 21.
Oh, I'm failing this. Sorry, guys. D20 plus 10 ain't going to be enough, I don't think.
We'll see.
Nope.
Not with a 3. All right, so you fail the save, which means that 16 points also comes off of your total.
Ooh, woof.
Your total HP. And
Did you borrow Alanere's dice?
It and 2 makes 8, man.
All right, so that will end his legendary action, which will take us to the beginning of round 5 with the lair action. And that is going to be, let's see, we'll roll to see what happens first. It's a 7. Oh, okay. And that means that we roll, now that there are only 4 portals, we're going to still consider this one number 1. We'll roll a d4 to determine which portal does the thing. Number 1. It is going to... Hooray! It is going to spawn another misty figure. So, bear with me 1 second. That will be... I'll roll a d4 to determine which of the 4 squares that touches it. Not that it really matters, but number 2. Okay, so right there. So it spawns another misty black figure with glowing red eyes at that position. The portals will pulse, but there are no portals within range of anyone that matters. So that will end the lair action, which will take us to Thanas'l's turn. Thanas'l effectively is added to the initiative at this position. And he is going to lash out, leap to his feet, which is going to give him half movement. Not that he particularly needs it. Oh, I'm sorry. Before Thanas'l's turn happens, Eldrick, I need you to make me a concentration check for the damage that you took. It's half the damage or 10, whichever is greater. So your concentration check will be at a 10.
That's Constitution, yeah.
Constitution, yeah. Flat Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, that's right. Constitution saving throw. You are correct.
Okay, 24.
All right. So with the damage you took, it does not break your concentration. I will
Gotcha.
say with a 24 on your saving throw that the portal does not even flicker.
X.
You waver in it by no means.
Yeah, I think I'm about to waver here in a whole lot of means though.
A lot of weight.
Well, that is very true. As still shouting in Drow, and it appears to be the same litany over and over again. It's not just the every slide answered 1,000-fold, but it is a litany that appears to be some kind of dogmatic chant referencing the Revenancer and Kiaransalee. He is going to lash out with his dagger. First, it's going to be at Eldrick. Eldrick, he still gets disadvantage attacking you,
Yep.
correct?
Yep, 17. Ugh.
That's a natural
Oh,
1,
one.
so he misses his attack against you.
Oh my, thank goodness.
His second attack is going to go back at Alanere. So he is going to attack Alanere.
I'm going to use Blood Curse of Blindness on him.
Which will also give him...
It's a D8 off of his attack rolls.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
It's a little bit different now, but yeah, D8 on his attack rolls. So
okay, and he has no...
he'll take 5 off of his attack.
Nice. All right, so no disadvantage, but he'll just roll straight up. That's a 20 to hit, minus 5, so it's a 15 to hit, and which we determined already is not enough to hit Alanere. So he lashes out blindly at Eldrick, is not able to find him, kind of shakes his head, puts his free hand up against the burning runes across his face, and then with a backhand slashes across kind of blindly at Alanere as the blackness around his eyes seems to coalesce with the blood curse that Thoros'l just levied on him. Thoros'l, I'm going to put a red dot on you for reaction.
Yep.
And that will be all of his turn. He does nothing. He is unable to do anything additional this turn. Actually, no, that's not true at all. He is going to...
Oops. I didn't mean to put that in. I need to read it anyway.
Recognizing the threat that is posed by the new challenger, he's going to instead use the remaining half of his movement to dash out towards his grandfather. And blade leading, he's going to dash towards Thoros'l with the remainder of his movement. That will end his turn, which takes us to a Sprout.
Eldrick will decline to take his attack of opportunity.
That's a good point. Does anybody that was adjacent to Thanas'l who has an opportunity to do so, or gives you an opportunity, would you like to take your attack of opportunity on Thanas'l as he leaves your threat range?
Oh.
Yes.
That would be Sprout and Alanere. You can make that choice.
I'm a no.
Okay.
That's a no from me as well.
It's a no for me, dog. Irae is going to attempt to attack him. But she's going to just try to reach out and grab him. So it'll be a grapple check. She's not particularly good at, but she's desperate. So she's going to do that at a 14, which...
Does she have a bonus from Eldrick?
That's just for
What's
saves.
that?
Just for saves.
Okay.
Versus the Thanas'l. Thanas'l will attempt to oppose her.
1.
And doesn't. She manages to grapple him. So as he turns and shrieking like a banshee, she reaches out and basically throws herself on him bodily, sobbing and wailing, shouting his name, and grapples him. So he is considered now grappled. And is unable to complete his dash. He will actually not be able to go any further because he can't end in the Spectre's square. That's the only way that he'd be able to go. So he is done. That will end his turn. Now we're to Sprout. Thank you for the reminder about the attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to have another turn. We were supposed to have portaled out. What's wrong with you people?
Get us the hell out of here!
There's things for you to chop up.
Oh gosh,
There's more
I have to
portals.
attack more.
Destroy portals.
And the smoke and the smoky things.
And the smoky things. No pressure.
Hey man, you are mean. You are super mean. You can do this. You got this, bro.
You're the meanest one on the field right now. Honestly, other than Thanas'l.
All right, then I am going to. I cannot stand over someone. Correct.
You cannot stand in the same square as
Spot.
anyone else. That's correct.
All right. Can I pass through a square that someone else is in, or do I need to go around?
You
can pass through allies.
You can pass through allied squares. Anybody who does not consider you an ally, you cannot pass through their square.
Is Irae considered an ally or an enemy now?
She is considered an ally for you, and that she is
because I haven't attacked anyone.
Yeah, so you can pass by her.
All right. I am going to switch this over to move. I am going to move directly here. I'm going to attack the portal with Riftrender.
Okay.
It's a 17 hit.
That does damage. It does hit. It does damage the portal, but it is not enough to collapse it.
Okay. Utilizing distance strike, I am going to bounce onto the other side here, and I am going to attack this meanie guy.
Okay.
It's a 31 to hit.
That'll do it. And 12 points of damage for him. All right. He takes every bit of that. Howls in fury. And for
let's see here. Distance strike, I don't think it lets me attack the same creature.
That's correct. Yeah,
but you can attack, then distance strike, attack something different. Like you can use your first 2 attacks on the portal and then distance strike or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah. So we could retcon that to where if you wanted to attack the
portal twice,
you could do that and then use your distance strike to attack the other guy.
All right, then I will. If you guys are okay with backtracking that, then I will make this one the second attack on the portal.
That's fine. And that's
24 to hit, 13.
That's enough to collapse it. So, good job there.
Yay!
You're in the circle.
You can still move back in if you need to as well.
Correct. You still have your movement.
I do, and it might kill me.
Meh.
Or are you going to move away from the thing? That's sketchy.
Yeah, that's gonna.
You don't have to move away from it. Yeah.
Okay.
Good man.
You don't have to.
Go free attacks up in here.
Yeah, moving out of its threat range would provide it with an opportunity to attack you, but just moving within its threat range does not. However,
noted.
You should be aware that you are still in its threat range, so if it survives to its turn, it will have the opportunity to attack you anyway.
And it will probably kill me.
There you go. Does that end your
turn? But I took a portal down. Only because I can't do anything else, yes.
Okay. So that will take us to the end of your turn, which gives Thanas'l a legendary action. He is going to use his legendary action to attack.
Is this his third?
No, they reset on his turn, which was.
Oh, I forgot he had a turn. Never mind.
Yeah. So this will be legendary action number 1 for the new turn, which will be to attack his mother with his dagger because he is grappled. Because he is grappled, it'll be at a disadvantage.
That's for kids these days,
right? And
well,
the other roll doesn't even matter.
Thanas'l is fighting from the inside.
Thanas'l seems to be perhaps resisting it in some way on the inside. He is going to. That's a legendary action, so that is all that he can do. So he takes a swipe at his mother, who is holding on to him, trying to wrestle him down, trying to hold his dagger arm out. He slashes at her. She is able to dodge out of its way, but she's pleading with him to stop and shrieking at Kiaransalee to let her son go. That will take us to Makaria. Thoros'l, you're on deck.
All right. Well, Makaria is just going to see that there is something right next to her. Just going to hit that with a level 2 burning hands. So dexterity 18.
Okay. So hitting the specter with a level 2 burning hands. I assume that you're not attempting to catch anybody else in the burning hands? Just the specter?
Just the specter, unless I don't think this actually, as a cone, would reach. Unless I can get that portal, that would be about it.
No, it's 15 foot from your square, so no, the portal's out of range.
So I don't. Okay, then no. I don't want to get any closer to her.
Okay.
But I want to burn that thing.
Got it. So go ahead and roll your damage.
That'll be 13 fire damage unless it saves.
Okay, so it will roll its save, and you said a dexterity saving throw?
Correct.
And so it's that is a 17 on its dex.
18 is its.
18. So it fails its save, and the flames once again lash out and wash over it. It still doesn't appear to be as phased by the fire damage, but you can tell that it was damaged. Just not as much as you would have hoped. It does resist fire.
Wonderful. Well, that's all I got.
All right. That's going to end your turn?
Correct.
Thanas'l's going to take another legendary action and attempt to slash at his mother again. Still grappled. My God. I cannot roll for anything tonight. Well, I can, but it doesn't seem to matter. He is not able to hit his mother. He's slashing at her. She's trying to stop him. It is a very precarious dance between the two of them. But she is able to hold the blade at bay, at least for the moment. That will take us to Thoros'l with Irae on deck.
All right. Thoros'l will knock another arrow and use his bonus action to enchant it and then fire it at Eldrick's chest.
Okay. So as you're watching this, Eldrick, the precarious dance is going on between mother and son. Thoros'l calmly pulls back an arrow, aims it in your direction, and fires. The arrow strikes you in the chest, as it did. There's strangely no pain as this black arrow pierces your armor with complete ease. You flinch as you see the arrow coming, but you can't do anything to stop it. It strikes you in the chest, and you gain the benefit of a long rest.
Does that do anything about my lost hit points?
All of the benefits of a long rest.
Well, I don't know. No, I mean the lost maximum.
It reverses that as well. Yeah, that was until a long rest. So yes.
Because I was down 65 max hit points.
Yeah. So all of the burdens of the past several days, all of the fear and uncertainty, and the pain, the exhaustion, all of that melts away in an instant, and you feel almost like your blood, something running through your blood supercharges you. You feel just a rush of energy and vigor, and your eyes flicker for an instant as your wounds heal. Any spells, not that you had an opportunity to cast any spells from your spell pool, but any spell slots or any long rest abilities that you have used are once again available to you.
Excellent. I'm on it.
I will. Or go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask if that's if there's anything else for your turn.
I will knock a second arrow. I can't bless this one, but I'll fire it at the at this guy.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, keep clicking the wrong thing. Here we go. Longbow. 13 to hit.
13 to hit. That does hit.
7 piercing.
Okay. And that is not magical piercing, correct? It's not a magical weapon.
It is not a magical weapon.
Okay. So the arrow passes through. It does seem to pause temporarily as it passes through the creature's form, but it also does not stick. It clatters uselessly off of Thoros'l or Thanas'l's back. Doesn't damage him in any way, but it doesn't appear to damage the specter as much as you had hoped. It does have resistance against non-magical piercing damage.
That's fair. All right, and then I'll move into the portal area. But I'm gonna move down and over, so I don't get within attack range of anything.
Okay.
Still bow out, not swords.
Understood.
And that's it for my turn. I'm happy where I'm at.
You got your reaction back. I see that, so that's good. Okay, that will end your turn, which will bring us back to Thanas'l's third and final legendary action for this turn.
3.
Yes, 3 legendary actions. So he's going to attempt to attack his mother with a dagger once again.
I'm going to use Eyeless on his attack as well, since I have my reaction back.
All right, go ahead. Roll your d8.
All right, let me get that going here. Oh, only 2 off.
All right. Let me get to... I actually forgot to pull up Irae's stats, so I have no idea if he hit her or not. So bear with me just a second while I get that going.
He's just doing it for cinematic effect.
This is time for an ad break. This is time for an ad break.
Something, Pepsi. Really?
Really?
Has anyone tried to give him a Snickers? Maybe he's just not himself when he's hungry.
Nice.
You mean me or Thanas'l?
Both.
Thanas'l. It needs a Snickers.
That's the cure. We just shove stickers in his face and it cures him of his possession.
Thanas'l, you've been possessed by a dark god. Have a Snickers. Okay, so 2 off of his
24 or whatever it is.
20, I think it is. No, the dagger attack is not as potent as the touch, the other spell. So, but he is still able to hit with that one. So he does hit his mother with the poison dagger. So that will be...
She's like a 20th level wizard, right? She got anything?
She unfortunately does not appear to have anything additional available to her. Wait, you shot her.
Yeah, she's got a long rest too.
You shot her. You are correct. She has a long rest. Yeah, she's going to cast shield as well, and that will be just enough to deflect the attack. Thank you for the reminder. That was
solid aerospace there.
I forgot that she has finally been able to replenish her spells.
Oh yes. She's full up, man. She's gonna be rocking some stuff.
Yep.
Hopefully.
All right. That will end Thoros'l's turn, as that happened on Thoros'l's turn, which will take us to Irae. And Irae, need to very quickly check to see if there's anything immediate that she can do.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah.
Any chance she can just incapacitate him?
Well, that is...
Destroy his rings? Oh my god.
Certainly.
Banish him. Just banish him.
Not sure what that would do at this point.
Well,
1 minute away.
Makaria. That bubble that you used, What was that?
Resilient sphere.
Is that cast on you only, or can you cast that on someone else?
Anyone I want. I put Eldrick in it once.
I've been in the bubble a couple times actually.
Yeah.
Can you put Thanas'l in the bubble?
I don't want to waste a spell slot on that.
You'd rather just nuke him.
I'd rather just banish him because I don't think he would come back.
Don't waste a spell slot. I'll just let him slice everybody up first.
I think you'll be surprised what happens when you banish him.
All right, she will quickly release him, which breaks the grapple, and then she will go through the quick motion of a cast spell, and let me just read the spell here real quick because I'm not as familiar with this one. He has to make a saving throw.
He does not have Eldrick's buff. Good job, Eldrick. I'm proud of you.
Counterspell. No, that'd be bad.
Got it. Okay. Then it's a one-action cast, so she will cast a spell. He doesn't have any way to try to stop her from casting the spell, so he then has to make a... Oh, wait. No, there's no saving throw unless he tries.
That's right.
Yeah, nope. He has an inability that he can't save. So she leaps back from him, goes through her spell, and releases it. And he attempts to swing at her because it's purely flavor text because he doesn't have any additional legendary actions. But he attempts to reach back out at her, grab her, and smashes his hand and the dagger against an unseen wall of force that has been erected around him.
Oh, hot damn.
Yes.
Force cage.
She says, that should hold him. Do what you need to do, Paladin. Get us out of here.
Yes.
She will.
Okay.
She will actually. She will not step away from him. She'll stay out of range of his arm, the length of his arm. But she will return her attention to him. And she'll look around for Thoros'l. Say, we have to get her out. Get her out. Give me my son back. And that will end Irae's turn. The Spectre comes up. Specters come up. Both of them are within range of targets, so they will not move. Target number 1 is going to be Makaria from this guy down here. He is once again at disadvantage, so he will attack. Ooh, good thing he was at disadvantage. But that is going to be... Are you doing anything to... are you casting any spells or anything like that as a reaction?
What's the total?
Oh, let me check. 1 second.
Because I can only get it up to 21.
The total is... where is my freaking freak? There it is. Total is, with a 16, that is a 19 to hit.
Then yes,
Sorry,
I will shield. Yep.
So you shield it and keep him off of you.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead and mark
going
off your
through my spells.
Sprout, you're the second target from this guy right here. So
I'd really like to not be.
Yeah, that is just too bad. You danced around and bamfed and struck at this guy and killed his portal, and now he's going to kill you back.
He might actually.
That is going to be a 23 to hit. I guess that probably does.
Well, if you take 7 or 8 of that off, I might be able to block it. Otherwise, no.
All right. Then it is going to be 8 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving row. Big rolls.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So you are not affected by the life drain. that would take that 8 points off of your maximum hit points. So just the 8 points of necrotic damage, and you are done. Or rather, he is done. All right. That will take us then to Alanere. Eldrick, you are on deck.
Good times.
All right. I am going to cast a produce flame
Okay.
and throw it at this shadow right here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. So that is a spell ranged attack. That's on my sheet. Is
Nice.
Ooh, that's very good.
27 to hit.
27 is gonna be enough. I'm gonna just not even have to look at the armor class of the guy. You hit him.
That cantrip damage, so that's going to be 3d8 fire.
Ooh.
Big rolls, big rolls, big rolls.
Nice.
Fire damage.
Exactly half. All right. So you lash out with him with a ball of fire that you conjure from seemingly nowhere. The fire splashes against him, and his head turns from Sprout to see that it was you that hit him with it. It doesn't. He does have resistance, so he only takes half damage. So he only takes 6 points of fire damage. But that is actually enough. Never mind.
Yes.
The fire passes through him, and rather than he does turn to face you, but only as the holy fire from conjured from your connection with Shantea burns him into nothingness.
And now we'll kind of follow that up with a Eldrick, if you're going to do something, do it quick. And that'll be my turn.
All right. That will take us to Eldrick as we end round 5.
Okay, couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
One, when the wall of force goes up, does my portal still extend inside of there as far as I can tell visually?
The whatever spell effect that she placed around Thanas'l does not appear to have affected your sphere in any way.
Excellent. There are 2 legal novels worth of stipulations on what I can and can't do with my portal. In that, do I know if I can bring somebody with me? Like, would I know if the deity rules are in effect?
You would not. You have no way of knowing whether or not Kiaransalee would be affected. You are reasonably certain that Thanas'l, being a living creature, would be affected, but how that works with Kiaransalee possessing him, you have no way of knowing.
Sure. So I don't feel whether or not each of these creatures would come with me. That's not something I know. Okay. Gotcha. I had a third question and I completely forgot what it was.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Am I reading this correctly that I take all or none?
It is.
I can't like pick and choose
No,
who goes with when I close the portal?
No, it's everything with inside. You
Gotcha.
don't get to pick and choose. You get to pick the destination, but you don't get to pick which creatures come. It's everything inside.
Well, okay. In that case, then we are all at the Thoros'l village now.
Okay, so bear with me just a second as I make a little bit of a change here. So,
Intermission? Question mark.
short intermission if you want to take a quick break. This
only
take a moment, but yes, if you need to take a potty break or something, now would be a good time.
I'm interested to see, since Thanas'l's bound.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that taking him somewhere else is going to solve the problem. I just wanted to get us out of the weird wiggle room where we had 2 planes overlapping.
I'm on board with this because it's a
Technically,
problem no
Thanas'l
matter
is
where we
not
are.
bound.
So.
technically in the portal, we had 3 planes overlapping. Well, no, we had 3 places overlapping.
I just want to get away from the portals that are trying to kill us.
Right.
I'm most worried about those because you're kind of owning those.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
have 6 hit points.
Yeah, I had 6 hit points a little bit too. They seem to come back.
yeah. We all just.
That was a good portal move, actually.
Oh, we did get pushed.
Yeah,
Sure.
possessed Thanas'l is a problem no matter where we are. I'd rather be on home turf.
I'd rather him not be on home turf, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, take a quick. Yeah, this would be the perfect timing for an ad break if I were streaming. So I will remember that for
When you're streaming?
for whenever we're streaming next time, potentially next time.
Word.
Though it looks like this is taking longer than anticipated, so it may not be next week that we stream, or next time that we play that we stream. But we'll see how it goes. So
Don't be afraid of the learning curve, man. You got this.
what's that?
I said, don't be afraid of the learning curve. You got this, bud.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. So you guys can all, if you haven't done so already, on the map program or in Roll20, just pivot to the right. There's a secondary map that has just been revealed on to the right of Irae's lair. So you guys can just.
Shit, it's almost like you have planned for this
It's
eventuality.
almost as though I have learned already, and whenever you opened the portal to freaking Mapelyn in the first place, I planned that it might actually happen.
Now, hold on a second. If we were following our actual track record, after I opened the portal to Mapelyn, we were definitely going anywhere other than Mapelyn.
Well, you know what? Your track record is do what Andy at least expects,
Fact.
and I didn't know what that was, so I figured, okay, let's just plan for everything that I can plan for. Let's do that. I had a week.
We don't know there's 5 maps underneath Mapelyn.
Yeah, there are just every plane of existence has a map underneath.
Actually, the same spot. It's the same layout. It just is a different place wherever he decides it to be.
We may
The Oaks Manor is there.
We may have some instances during stream where I have to just say, "All right, guys, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to call it here because I have to plan for something entirely new now."
Nice. I like it.
But I haven't done that in 13 years. I haven't had to end the stream early or end the game early for 13 years with all your oddball bullshit. So I don't expect that I'm going to have to now.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, that sounds like a challenge. You're right.
Well, the challenge is doing it without just intentionally being a dick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be like, like when we left that one temple that was totally planned out that had previously had the Mind Stone in it.
Yep. That was an instant where you definitely threw me for a loop, but in that instant I was ready, actually.
I am very curious to know what we missed out on in that temple.
Well, there's always a chance to go back. You're I will remind you. I will remind you. Yeah, I was going to say your mobility has drastically increased.
Yeah, I think we all remember that using the stones is actually bad. Potentially.
Well, I didn't know if you were going to bring that up. All right, so you closed the portal in order to bring you here, so you no longer.
I do the action, which is closing the portal, which booms us to whichever side I pick, which is Mapelyn.
Yep. So you close the portal. The crackling sphere of green and gold lightning intensifies for an instant. You feel the ethereal plane and Myrmidra recede, and you physically see the village of Mapelyn coalesce into more corporeal form around you. The sphere collapses, and you are standing on a lonely hill in the center of the abandoned village of Mapelyn, underneath the Tree of Legacies. And does that end your turn, Eldrick?
Just stopping concentration, which is basically what I did there, right? An action.
No, that is you can do that at any point in time on your turn, and it doesn't require an action.
All right, so that is not my action then.
Correct.
I will look to Irae and say, can I cast spells through whatever you put him in?
I believe you can. I am learning high-level wizard spells right now. Myself.
In 13 years of experience, you haven't had to learn that yet?
It blocks, well, new edition. It blocks,
Oh, okay.
It does block any spell cast into or out from the area. So no, you cannot cast spells on him while he's in it.
All right. In that case, then I will do. I will cast a paladin spell, not a stone spell.
Okay.
And I will cast third level Beacon of Hope on myself.
Okay.
And a number of creatures.
And that allows
and
for healing, effectively, right?
It allows advantage on wisdom saves and death saves, and they gain the maximum number of hit points on healing spells used on them. And I'm going to put that on everybody around me that isn't the shadow thing.
The specter, yeah.
Right.
Right.
I can't hit Thanas'l because he's in a wall of no touch. So.
Right.
But I will get everybody else except for the specter.
All right. So everybody else is beaconed. Let me go ahead and remove this. You guys can't see it, but it's still screwing me up. So I'm just going to get it out of the way.
That is concentration, just FYI.
Good to know. All right. I will put a concentration doohickey up on you, so we know that. Beacon doesn't appear to be one of the statuses that I have, so just keep that in mind, Eldrick.
I'm making a note of it. Yep.
All right, cool. So then we are. That will end your turn. Yes.
I will say I think we need to get the rings off of him and probably that holy symbol too, and then that'll end my turn.
Irae will say it's more than that. It's not just the rings. They're just a symbol. She's claimed him. We have to get her out. We have to find a way to get her out. I can drop the force cage if we're ready to deal with it, but you can't kill him. If you kill him, she'll claim him. There's still a chance that we can stop this. Is there anything that you can do? And she'll turn and look at Eldrick.
Is there a remove possession out of character?
Out of character, there are no spells that specifically remove possession. There are spells that prevent possession, but the unfortunate part is that they all require a willing creature, and I don't know if he classifies as willing.
Yeah.
Half of them does.
So I can put, and this is going to be in character for a second. I can put, where the fuck is it? I can put a spell on him that will, no, maybe I can't. Hold on.
Well,
no, I do. I have protection from good and evil, which would prevent him from being possessed, but I don't know if he's classified. I don't know if he's willing to accept that power from Ilmater. Eldrick will specifically say to Irae.
Okay, so she seems to be like she closes her eyes for a second. She is thinking there has to be a way. is there a means to, are any of you a cleric? Is there clerics can force spirits out of people, right? Exorcisms?
I think our best bet is a druid.
She'll turn, all eyes then turn to Alanere.
No pressure.
Turn 6 begins, and while there are no lair actions any further, because we're out of the lair, Thanas'l will, as this conversation's going on around him, he's calmed somewhat. He's no longer slashing at the bars of his cage, realizing that he is quite caged and is unable to escape through non-magical means. He will simply laugh in a decidedly female voice. This vessel is mine, body and soul. Even if you were to drive me out, this one belongs to me. And seems to look around. It is fitting that you brought us here. Fitting indeed that this is where Sophia Nightbranch dies a second time. He is going to attempt to make a charisma saving throw. And that's, how well is that going to go?
Not well.
Well, a plus. That is not enough. It's not enough. He or she or it focuses inwardly for a moment, and his form shifts for a blink of an eye. Like he becomes insubstantial, incorporeal for a second, and it's clear that he is attempting to shift or teleport outside of the cage. It fails, but just for an instant, you thought that there was a possibility that he might escape. He snarls in rage. He's like, "I will have my revenge. Every slight will be answered 1,000-fold." And he closes his eyes, and there is a rumbling that begins to issue forth from his position in the ground.
Oh, God.
There is an almost immediate effect on the ground around you. The grass begins to die and wither. The tree, there's a blackness that begins to surge up from the base of the tree up into its trunk, and leaves start falling off like rain. And Thanas'l begins to laugh. That will be the end of his turn. Sprout, you're up. Let me pause here before we proceed any further into round 6. It is 10 o'clock. Does anybody need to stop, or do we want to keep going?
Yes to both of those.
Okay. So if we want to stop here, that's perfectly fine. That will just mean that the combat will continue into the next session, which will be on January 3rd. That will not be a stream day. I want to get through this entire encounter and complete this arc in entirety before we actually begin the stream, so that we can start the stream with the next arc. So if we end here, that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with doing that. We'll continue this into the next week. Hopefully, we get through the fight at that point in time, and can finish with whatever happens after that, and then begin the stream the following week. We're all good with that?
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So then we'll go ahead and call it here. We are just beginning. We've just completed Thanas'l's turn on round 6 of the combat. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.